Hello, Billy Ho here, Billy Ho Sports. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about I guess, maybe the third biggest of the Churchill Downs spring meet. As we know, Churchill Downs has moved the rest of their spring meet over to Ellis Park, which Churchill Downs also owns. So, I say the third biggest day because obviously the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks, but Stephen Foster, they had really put together quite the pageantry and list of stakes races over the past, I don't know, 15, 20 years or so since they moved it back to a grade one race. And I think it briefly dipped a year or two ago to a G3, but it's back up to a G1 now. So we got some really, really good horses, 8 horses, super strong field. So anyway, the headliner is on the race card is the Stephen Foster Stakes, grade 4 or grade 1, 4 years old and up. So let's get started and make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button. I certainly appreciate all the new subscribers. So let's get us home this week and maybe we can get a winner. And let's get started. Okay, just a little background. The Stephen Foster goes all the way back to 1982. And like I said, it moved from a G3 to a G1 in 2002. And I think it bumped down and went back up. Took a year. But Churchill Downs did it to boost pretty weak some ambiance. But going all the way back, I remember 2006 vividly. I was there and watched Calvin Burrell win at 91-1. It was really, really unbelievable. He was so excited, fired up. Anyway, this year's mile and an eighth race is moved to Ellis Park, like I mentioned before. It's a strong 8-horse field, and I think that as good a place to start as any is the showing you some race highlights is the Oaklawn Handicap back in April. There's 3 horses in this field. So basically it was a real wild finish, and I believe it's horses 2, 3, and 4 is the ones you want to be looking for. And so the break was fine. Everything rolled good through some quick fractions and whatnot. 23, 2-3 quarter, 47-64 half. 3-horse Stiletto Boy goes up front for the lead for much of the race. So the 2-horse Last Samurai is on the inside saving ground, 4th. Then Proxy, the 4-horse, is trailing right behind in 5th and a bit wide. They hit the stretch, and this is where it kind of gets interesting. Last Samurai tries to get in on the inside of Stiletto Boy, the 3-horse, and nearly hits the rail. I believe the announcer said he brushed the rail, but it's really kind of hard to tell. But you can see how far inside he's stuck. And then actually that kind of pushes Stiletto Boy back outside into the 7-horse Charge It. And so all that commotion, and then you have the 4-horse Proxy on the far outside, drifted, but hit his stride late, and he comes flying in to beat those 2 at the wire. Excellent race. I loved it. All 3 horses received 113 Equibase speed figures for that race. So that shows you how well they ran. And the 1-horse, let's see. So we'll start with the 1-horse Proxy. Proxy is trained by Michael Stidham and ridden by Joel Rosario. The inside post, I think, will be probably pretty good for this horse, coming in fresh. The win at Oaklawn was impressive, coming from the outside, drifting a little bit, but showed some real good late kick. And obviously, it's late kick as far as Proxy goes. So I think on the inside, saving ground, and then maybe be able to swing out toward the final turn for the big closing kick will put him in good position. So I'm digging that. The 2-horse is Stiletto Boy, trained by Ed Moger, and Kent DeSormo is up. This son of Shackleford looks like he wants the lead, I'd say. I think this race would be one that he's going to try to get out in front if he wants to challenge another horse, West Will Power. Also, Speed Bias is going to be out quickly too. So this horse, Stiletto Boy, ran really, really good at the race that we just watched. Last Samurai did get ahead for the place finish, but I think that little commotion that they had and swinging and causing Stiletto Boy to swing out a little bit cost him just enough ground and basically the race. So the 2-horse Stiletto Boy, definite contender. Kent DeSormo, old school, no stranger to winning tons of races. He's rode this horse the last 2 times with a win and the third that we just saw. So we're definitely into that one. And so the next horse we're going to look at is Speed Bias. Speed Bias is trained by Ron Moquette and ridden by Luis Saez. Luis rode him the last 2 times, and the last race was a huge monster effort at the Pimlico Special Grade 3 back in May. Had the race won, going out, got the lead, and just gave a really valiant effort and was nipped at the wire. And you can just watch this race and see how well when they hit the stretch is what interests me the most, because it looks like the Rattle and Roll makes its big move around that far turn and then is in prime position to just run right by Speed Bias down the stretch. But Speed Bias not having it, digs in and maintains the lead for most of it, and then just basically a head bob, in my opinion, is the only difference in the race. So Speed Bias, monster race. That was just his first Grade 3 test coming out of allowance optional claimers, which he had some success at. But this is another big step up to a Grade 1, so he might be in a bit over his head. But that second place finish was strong enough to make this jump. So if he can run back to that, then he could be get out in front and maybe control the pace and try to steal it. But it's going to be a tough one. He did show some alpha type racing, not wanting to give up the lead in that one. So that's what I liked about it. And obviously he'll offer some value, 12-1 on your morning line odds. So I think that race actually looked a little bit even better after the horse that beat him, Rattle and Roll, went right back out at Churchill Downs and won the Blame Grade 3 stakes coming home. And we'll show you a little bit of all those highlights. Finishing up, I believe he was the number 1 horse in the Blame, and you can see him coming in late. The video is not the best, but he comes in and beats the 4-horse closing in that one. So just a really solid horse, Rattle and Roll. Brian Hernandez is going to ride it. It's Kenny McPeek's other horse? ? And I thought I saw somebody post that Kenny McPeek typically doesn't try to run 2 horses up against each other. I don't know why. I mean, every other trainer does. So I'm not sure if Kenny McPeek has that luxury or not with the connections, because it's ultimately their decision. So anyway, Rattle and Roll is going to definitely contender. I think the 4-1 are a little bit high or a little bit too ambitious on the odds, but deserving. 3 straight wins, looking for number 4. And he's got, I believe, 5 out of his last 7. So strong results here recently. But the speed's a little bit lower. You can see the 107, 105. When we're talking the next horse getting a 117 and the 3 previous horses getting 113s. So maybe he might be a little bit less in the speed category. Hard to say. But next up, Smile Happy, Kenny McPeek's other main horse. Corey Lannery up. Ali Sheba Grade 2 winner, big race for Smile Happy. Gets out and battles West Will Power for the lead and ultimately takes it from him. And West Will Power, after running a bit of a slow opening quarter, I believe it's 24:30. Then they get up to 47, just under 48 for the half. So they pick up the pace, 111.50 for 3 quarters. And Smile Happy gets it done. And coming back in this race, I look forward to rooting for him. I believe that was one of the few that I actually won on at Churchill Downs on May 5th. So we'll be looking forward to trying to do a repeat performance. And then number 6 horse is West Willpower, the main competition. Brad Cox's pimp of all trainers, so to speak. No, but Flavian Pratt's going to ride. This horse just seems to be, it wins, then loses. So he might be due on the uptick for the win here. I'm looking forward to seeing him, see if he can bounce back, because I think he's a terrific candidate for it. And on to the next horse, number 7 is Last Samurai. Dwayne Lucas, the trainer. Kristen Torres is the jockey, back on after Luis Saez rode him in the Alysheba. So here we go. We've seen him run 4th in the Alysheba, 2nd at Oaklawn. We've already seen the highlights on it. Multiple graded stakes winner and a value play at 6-1. So, you don't have to toss. He's got comparable numbers. He's run a 119 in the past, 111, 113, dipped to 100 in the Alysheba. So I don't know if that's good news or bad news. If it's on the down, or it was just a too soon. Couldn't have been too soon on the turnaround though. So interesting dip in the speed on that one, but maybe another bounce back candidate nonetheless. Happy American, I sad to say, is probably going to be a toss right off the bat. Just the speed numbers aren't there. He's got some decent experience in the grade 3 ranks, grade 2 ranks, 4th and 5th. Won a grade 3 back in January, but I do believe this is going to be a major step up in competition. Neil Pesson is the trainer. James Graham will ride. Also being on the outside 8 post, I think we'll be having problems there keeping up. So this gelding is not going to be in my betting card. Now, I guess we can move on to the betting card. Real quick before we go, there's a couple extra things on the Equibase site for free. So you can see kind of like some speed figures. You can see how good Proxy and Stiletto Boy, those 113s, and then the average speed for the last 3 races, which is always a good indicator. You can see West Willpower is the clear best in that regard. So it's going to be, if they run back to their median, West Willpower is your horse. And then, of course, you got the top power, top speed. Like I said, top class, West Will, top pace. And the top power rating was Smile Happy, probably largely due to that last race. But West Willpower is right there in Proxy. So those are my numbers I'm going to work with. It's 1, 5, 6. So we come over here and box the 1, 5, and 6 in the exacta. I do kind of find it a little bit interesting on some of these other horses. If you look over here, Speed Bias ran that 107. If he can improve from that, could be a great value. Last Samurai, if he's a bounce back candidate, I think you can include, if we move over here to the, I apologize, I didn't have the odds ready for you, but you can see the 4-1, 6-1, 4-1, 3-1, 7-2, 6-1. So if you did want to throw a longer shot in there, the 3 might not be the worst idea in the world. If you toss that in there for 18 and then you get the 3 to run second, that's going to pay a nice little exacta, I do believe. But I think it's going to start and end with the 1, 5, 6, and then maybe you try the 3 or the 7, or 2, 3, or 7. Stiletto Boy is, if he goes out for the lead, I don't like his chances. I could be wrong about that, but I think the other speed horses might be just a little bit too much for him. I know that 113 is pretty solid, and it is right in line with most of the rest of them. But you can see the last 12 months, he is a little bit further down the ladder. So I believe you can see top speed. He's kind of out of the mix in the rest of these, the top class. So I think 156 is where I'll land. So you could probably just run some sort of trifecta. And I don't typically like running these boxed wise, but I could be talked into maybe doing a 1-6, 1-5-6, something in that range. And then that way you're doing a 2/3, and you could do a 2/3/4, and then toss in that 7, something in that nature. And then that way you're not spending too awful much. And it's half, it's a dollar trifecta typically for me. So it depends on how many horses I go, is where you could land right there. But the 3 and the 7 are the two value plays, in my opinion. And then the 3 top choices are the 1-5-6. So take that for what it is. And that's probably what you're going to see most of. And that's why a lot of us land on these chalky horses. It's because they're the best horses. I mean, that's just how it is. But they can be upset. And you've seen these horses run against each other on many occasions this season, and they seem to be trading barbs back and forth. So with that said, I think West Willpower is in position to flip the script with this race and take home the victory in the Stephen Foster. So appreciate you watching. Look out for more videos on the undercard coming up soon, probably tomorrow at the latest. And until then, we'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.